What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Uncle RZA. Let's talk about the new Xbox Elite wireless controller. Don't know why we need to put the word wireless in these things. Not exactly sure they ever sold a wired one for the Xbox One, but whatever. So this is an interesting product, and I think it's been well received by the gamer crowd, and it seems to be causing mass confusion on the consumer front. What I mean by this, Snow sent me a good article the other day where, let me see if I can pull it up, where the gist of the article was pretty much, why does this thing exist? Like, you don't need it. It was from Business Insider, and the title was literally, don't buy Microsoft $150 Xbox One controller just yet. And I think in that article they had a few valid points, but again, this is link bait. Like, it's not Microsoft's Xbox One controller. It's an Elite controller. There's a reason that they gave it that name, and I feel like more link bait behavior when you remove something so specific to make it seem like someone's doing someone else an injustice, like madness. But nonetheless, let's get into it. So this thing is gonna be coming home at $150, which is a lot for a controller, and we'll break that down in a little bit, versus the $70 price point for the current controllers. And it comes in a case, and in this case you get a few different things. You get the Xbox controller itself, the carrying case, of course. You get a set of 4 paddle shifters for the back. You get 6 thumbsticks. You get the standard, the tall, and a domed, which is something you would see on the DualShock 4. It's very popular with the PlayStation guys, or the old PlayStation guys. They love the concave thing now on the DS4, but it's a mushroom shape. You get 2 D-pads. You get the standard one, and you get this sort of, I don't know what the word for this is, but it looks interesting. It looks very interesting, and that may be for the fighting games. We'll get into that in a bit. You get the USB cable, 2 AA batteries, and a manual. So what I have to say about what's in the box, I think it's all dope, except for that battery. Like, for that price, they could have thrown in one of the rechargeable batteries and just give us a bone. I like the fact that the cable is braided, and that really adds to that premium packaging. The paddles, I think the paddles are dope. So the paddles go onto the back, and perceivably this could be for racing games. You've got your shifting on the back. I really like the idea of it, but for me, I would more so use this for something like Battlefield. When I'm playing Battlefield, I'm using the battle rifles. I switch between single shot and fully auto a lot, and I have to remove my finger. Let me show you. I have to remove my finger from the playing position to press up. With the paddle shifters, it'll be dope to not have to ever leave this position and just actually tap a button on the bottom. So that would be dope. I really like the idea of the paddle shifters, and I want to see how that works. Now we come down to the thumbsticks. What's notable about the thumbsticks are they are replaceable. Obviously, you can swap them in. You can swap the tall in. The tall would be for the shooting crowd. You get a little more control. Even the racing crowd, you get a lot more precision there. And that is widely why the Xbox One controller is regarded to be better than the Xbox 360, because the thumbsticks themselves are a little taller. So here you see in the packaging, they're giving you an even taller option, which is pretty dope. And they're metal. So now we're being introduced to this thing that PC gamers have known and loved for a long time. The weighted keyboards so they don't move, but more importantly, the mouse, or the mices, however you want to say that. So in the PC world, you buy these gaming mice, you buy a gaming mouse, and some of them come at a specific weight, but you then have the ability, I don't know if my mouse See, I can't show you right now, but you then have the ability to go in and add more weights to make the mouse a little more firm, I should say. So I think that in itself is a dope option. Like, look, this is what's in my mouse. You know, I got 4 of these weights, so I can remove and add as much weights until it feels well. So the concept behind this is, for instance, if I'm playing Forza, I would want the heavier thumbstick, because it requires me to give a little more force and get a little more precision. Or even in Battlefield, I can turn up the sensitivity, and you know, that little extra weight, it's less twitchy. It's more of an object to move, but I'm more precise with less effort. It's something difficult to wrap your head around, but trust me, the weighted thumbsticks is a dope look. The D-pad, that's interesting. The one, I don't know what they call that thing, man. The crazy looking one that you can swap out looks like it would be really dope for fighting games. I don't know as yet. We gotta wait to see when some of the die-hard fighting guys get into it and see if it actually does help. It's supposed to be more precise. Now, in terms of features for the rest of the controller, you have, it supports hairpin mode, or firepin. Hairpin, I guess, is what you would call it. So hairpin is pretty much a very sensitive trigger, and one of the deals with the having a trigger at the back playing these games is where you never really know when, you know, you're supposed to fire, because it's an analog button. So it's not one of those things where it's either on or off like the D-pad. That's either on or off. There's no play there. So you kind of know how far you have to go down for your required click. But it gets a little more difficult with the analog stick. And this is why I always admire the Sony crowd, because for the longest, they had the option to use the R1 to the Xbox guys, which the bumpers, as their shooting button, which is dope, because you get that, you know, you don't get that travel. You don't have to waste time with your finger traveling. The minute you touch the button, it responds, and that's a dope thing. So this controller has two different levels of that, and I think that's a big deal. That's definitely one of the dope things about it. It's got some improved precision all around. It's got a nice, according to them, a premium weight. The D-pads are more sensitive. You can even adjust the sensitivity on the triggers themselves for whatever games. And that brings me to the last bit. They're gonna ship an app that actually allows you to adjust the sensibility of everything. We're talking dead zones and all. So this, I think, is a first for a console or a remappable controller. I think the PC crowd goes nuts for things like this. And in the PC crowd, I see this being a win too. You know, I see them spending money for something like this. And for the Xbox crowd, it's a big question, right? So who is it for, and is it worth the money? That's the real question here. Elite. I think Microsoft said it best when they said the Xbox One Elite controller. You know, if you've never felt like you noticed the difference between the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One controller, then this isn't for you. If you never went online and researched these hairpin controllers that exist out there in the world, then this isn't for you. You know, if you never wanted to just get a little extra functionality from the back, then this isn't for you. But for people like myself, you know, replacing the adding extra pad or pad shifters to the back of the controller for Forza, I'm very excited to see how that works. You know, because I don't have to take my hand off the grip. Like, that's super dope to me. To be able to enable hairpin mode in Battlefield, where the minute I touch the trigger, it responds. That's dope to me. To be able to further tweak sensitivity and add weighted thumbsticks on top of what's already in the game, that's dope to me. That sort of stuff matters, and it's really refreshing to see that we're going down this path in the console world. Now, going back to that article, the article had a very valid point that, you know, this controller is easily half the price of the Xbox itself. And I want to point out that if you do your research, and I'm not linking shit like that because it's cheating. You know, there's these guys out here who mod the controllers, they solder the boards, they do all type of hair fire, drop shot, remapping buttons, all type of crazy shit on these controllers, and they cost upwards of $300 and more. So Microsoft is really giving us a bit of that, I need more, but they're not taking it to the cheating ass level that these dudes do. And I think $150 is a pretty fair price for something like this, especially the fact that you get to really get in there and get some thumbsticks. You know, I imagine that they would let third party people develop, you know, heavier or lighter thumbsticks, or thumbsticks with different grooves, or even Microsoft themselves would develop it. And you can get different D-pads, you can get different shifters. You know, like, this is a whole different world now. And for those of you who game hard, this is for you. You know what I mean? You will like this, and you should spend $150 for this guy. I think it's worth it. The only thing I don't like about the entire package is they could have given us the battery, man. That's how I feel about it. But anyway, it's your boy, Uncle Brizza. If you like the video, like the video. If you want more, subscribe for more. We'll be around. Hit the comments below. Let me know how you guys feel about this pro level precision controller. I'm out of here. Peace.